what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the 3 topics game here to share with you another one of my worst to best tier list style ranking videos to share with you guys today. Now, this idea was actually sent to me by one of my regular viewers going by the name of Red Guilties, who sent in this idea for me to do a tier list style ranking from worst to best of the Fast and the Furious series, which I was surprised about because I'm sure I've mentioned on several occasions I'm not really the biggest fan of this franchise, but heck, it's what he wanted to see, so he's gonna get it. So before I start my little ranking, if you do happen to enjoy this little ranking video by the end, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep track of me in all my future videos. And before I start my ranking, I'll just say this: I acknowledge that the franchise is extremely popular. It's supposed to be one of those crazy turn off your brain films, but even I have my limits with this franchise. So this list is I don't think it'll be all that impressive to some people. But, it's just how I would rank them. So as I jump right into my list, there are currently 10 Fast and the Furious films. Well, technically there's 9 Fast films and then one side film. And I believe they're currently working on Fast 10, which is supposed to be like a 2-parter. But, we're not going to talk about that. Now, if we're ranking them how I would do them, I would go from great to good to okay to forgettable to just flat out did not like. I'll just go in the order that I see these, starting from the back. So I'll start with Too Fast, Too Furious. Where would I put that one? Now, again, warning. I've only seen most of these films. I've only seen once. I think only one, maybe 2 of them I've at least seen more than once. So if I'm pausing, please forgive me because I actually have to think back to years ago when I saw this film. But if I remember, I think I'd put Too Fast, Too Furious and just okay. I think that's when Roman Pierce showed up. And I think Brian got recruited by the FBI for some reason. I think it had a pretty decent street race at the beginning of the film. But that's about it. I mean, I don't really remember much. But I think it was just okay. So I guess that's just where I'll put it. Okay, Fast 9. Oh dear lord. Okay, I'm putting that just didn't like. Okay, there was so much wrong with this film. Number 1, I'm serious, does anyone on this planet actually buy that Vin Diesel and John Cena could even be remotely related as brothers? I mean, this film lost me the second that was real. I mean, I heard that John Cena was going to be like the villain for this one. And I was like, okay, that could be interesting. But when they revealed that he's actually supposed to be a, brother, I was like, you mean, friendly brothers? Like most guys call each other? Or no, he's like a genetic brother. And I was like, the movie's already lost me. And just the stunts are just so ridiculous. I mean, Tarzaning a car and what they do with magnets, and then Hans comes back and they try to explain, oh, he wasn't actually dead, this is what was going on during this film, which I hardly remember because I only saw that film once. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, you've got to ground this at some point. There has to be some element of your film that's at least grounded. And instead, they go even farther beyond by actually going into space. Tyrese and Ludacris, 2 boys from the hood, end up in outer space. Or low or high orbit. I'd heard stories that because this was owned by Universal, would anyone be surprised if the Transformers or dinosaurs or some sort of time travel popped up in this franchise? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, this movie lost me with the trailer, but I kind of felt obliged to go see this, and I was just like, I was just not invested, and I felt like it was the worst, most wasted $12 in 2 hours of an evening I'd had in some time. So yeah, I didn't like this film. Hobbs and Shaw. I hardly remember this film. I'll put it in forgettable. All I remember about it was Idris Elba was playing some sort of super soldier, I think. And there was some kind of virus. And I'm like, The Rock went home for some reason and they got all dressed up in tribal uniforms and Roman Reigns was in there. And I'm like, is this even in the same franchise? I don't know. I heard like, just, I don't even remember what the plot was for this. But I saw it and I'm like, I don't even know want to watch it anymore. But that's like a lot of these films. Okay, Fast 7. What was that one? What happened in that film? What happened in that film? Oh, that's the one where that's when Paul Walker died in. Oh yeah, okay, now I remember. Where would I put that? I guess it was okay. I guess. I guess I'm like I'm trying to think. I was like, okay, I think that's the one where they dropped cars out of a plane and they drove a car through a couple of buildings. And I think Vin Diesel had superpowers for some reason, like he did like a Hulk stomp. And then they had that like kind of emotional scene with Brian's character driving off in that white car, I guess. But it was just like outside of that, I'm like it just felt like another just like another movie. So yeah, I guess I'll just put it in okay. Fast 8. Okay, I think that's the one with the submarine. As I think, and Vin Diesel is like like pretending to be a bad guy. I think, and um, all I remember about that film was a submarine. So I'll just put that in forgettable. What's this? Okay, I think that's Fast 5. Okay, I think this is one of the one where The Rock shows up. And they do something with like a vault and two cars. I think. So I guess I'll put that in okay, I guess. Let's see what else is here. Okay, Fast 6. What happened? Not again. What happened? I know what I quite literally. Oh, the one with the plane, and for whatever reason, the longest runway in a film ever. Oh, that one. Um, okay, I guess that one was just okay. I guess that I just remember that plane. Okay, Fast and Furious. Is that what that is? Okay. Okay, I'll be honest. I quite literally have no memory of that film. I'm sure I saw it, but I have no. I can't even think of a scene from that film. I'm like, I'm drawing a complete blank. Just like, when did that film even come out? That might have come out when I was in college, so God, I feel old. Okay, what else we got? Okay, Tokyo Drift. Oh, okay. I remember this one. But I wasn't really a fan of drifting. Um, so, yeah. I mean, okay, I think it's okay. Not wasn't really. I mean, it's in Tokyo, and that's like one of the that's like the number 2 place in the world I want to visit. But I'm just not a big fan of drifting, and this is the one where Hans was supposed to have died, and you find out that he didn't die. So yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll just put it in okay. So that gives us only one film left, and that's the first one. And that one, I'll actually say, is a good one. That is the one I've actually seen the most times. And that came out in 2001. Yes, I remember this one. I saw this one when I was a very young teenager, and I thought it was really cool. I saw it multiple times. I think this is what started the whole street racing craze for that era. And I love this. I like this film a lot because this is actually the film that got me into racing games. Up until this point, I wasn't really into racing games. This is the film that got me into Need for Speed. I remember now because that came out because Fast and the Furious came out in 2001. Underground came out in 2003, and I really wanted to get that for that year's Christmas because of this film. And that's also a reason why I like my next car. I want to be like a coupe because I kind of want to modify it a little bit, not to like be like a full out just street racing car, but just like exterior wise. I want to add spoilers and add certain decans on the side and yeah. Okay, yes, the first one. I like this one. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. I'll even go so far as to say it's great. Yes, I really like this film. And in fact, this came out over 20 years ago, and this is the one that I like the most. And it just feel like these films are just getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber as they kept going. Um, yeah, yeah, I really like that one. It's just kind of funny. It's funny. It's funny that we start off with a series that start with a bunch of street racers stealing DVDs, which for some of us, for some younger viewers, probably don't know what is a DVD. So that just tells you how old it is. And now we got people going into space. Wow, how do we get here? Ooh, so yeah, that is I guess that'll do it. That is my ranking of the Fast and Furious films. Now, I do want to apologize if some people think this list is kind of crappy because most of these films, I hardly remember. I'm just basing it off of the slightest memory of seeing it either in theaters once or maybe catching it on TV once years ago, and only one of them I know for a fact, which was the first one I saw multiple times, but that was only because I was a young teenager and it got me into like the idea of thinking that street racing was cool. I don't think people think that street racing is cool nowadays. I don't know what the street racing craze is nowadays, but I know it was cool back then. And that started my love for a certain style of racing games. So yeah, that is my ranking. I do apologize if my list is rather lacking and unimpressive and disappointing. I do apologize. But if you could do your own ranking, how would you rank all 10 of these films? Share your ranking with me and everyone else in the comments down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. And remember, if you have any more future ideas for future either tier list ranking or standard ranking videos, let me know in the comments down below as well. And I'll get this up as soon as I can. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you all guys next time.